little bit of Joe Burrow vibes. You know, he might not be. He's got small hands. I'm not. You know, maybe that might want to boo-hoo some people, but it really doesn't affect me. He's an older guy. He's like 22, 23. I think he's going to be 23 in a couple of months. So he's older. He's more mature. You're not bringing in like...
Oh, that's not bad. I thought you were going to say like 25 or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not bringing in a super young guy, but you're also not bringing in a super old guy either. So, I mean, I think Kenny Pickett has a lot of upside. Now, people say Malik Willis' ceiling is a lot higher, but at the end of the day, it's like...
I thought the Seahawks should have taken him, but I like the Titans taking him too.
Yeah, I mean, like, how far are you going to get with Tannehill?
Tannehill's the one thing holding
But I'm not
him
super
back.
happy with them getting rid of A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't make any sense.
I think any team in the league would have given up a first and a third for A.J. Brown.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it just didn't make any sense if you're trying to upgrade the quarterback position, okay, right, you have Tannehill. You clearly know Tannehill is not taking you far in the playoffs. So why would you get rid of one of your best receivers to get
Well, because
what they
Brown
get,
didn't want to be there.
I have no idea what they got. I mean, it doesn't. See, this is what I don't understand. People act like just because a player says they don't want to be somewhere, you like. If I was an owner, I'd sit you down, right? Because we're two grown ass men. I'd be like, too fucking bad, dude. Like, I'm trying to win Super Bowls, and you're clearly this. And if you don't want to win, if you don't want to sit here and play because I paid you X amount of money, and now you just want to be a bitch because you want to get paid more money somewhere else, too bad. I will slander the fuck out of your name, my guy.
You know the 49ers declined the 10th overall pick for Debo?
I wouldn't get rid of Debo either.
Oh, I would have taken that in a heartbeat. You don't want to play for the team. You might sit out. I'll take the 10th overall pick.
You're not going to make any money, though. But see, here, are you going to pull a Ben Simmons and you're going to be so defiant, right? You're going to waste, what, $20 million or whatever, how much you're going to get paid for that year just because you don't want to play? Are you going to waste that much money? Especially a young player like Debo Samuels?
Debo Samuel had one good year. I think the league's overrating him a little bit.
All right. Well, we're talking too much football. This isn't about football. See, no,
sir,
you sneaky motherfucker, know that I got one set up for you today, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not been, watching, your regular Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, you knew Russia.
Good Morning with Robin Maid.
Yeah. At this point, you've known Russia just ran up into Ukraine, running their shit, and we're here to discuss two different points of view. And then since I guess I would honestly, confidently say I'm a little more versed into this subject, I guess. Actually, I take that back. I don't know your opinion, and I've never heard you speak on politics, so this is definitely going to be a door.
This is going to be interesting.
This is going to be very interesting.
I feel like you think I'm like a hardcore liberal.
I don't think you're a hardcore liberal, but I just think, see, like, for me personally, when it comes to politics, I don't think, if you're not really, like, into that shit, and you're not on top of it, and you don't really know the ins and outs, like shut the fuck up.
Like, I hate politicians. They're annoying.
Well, politicians,
and they're slimy. Well, but like, it's something you have to talk about.
Well, here's what I will always tell. This is my definition of a politician. They're a shitty car salesman. Because what is a shitty car? Take I'll take the first time I ever bought a car, right? I bought a BMW from a dealership, right? Mm-hmm. This BMW, it looked nice, right? And that's exactly what a politician sells you. He sells you this idea of a perfectly working good system, which is a car, right? And then you get in the car and you realize, well, this shit looks nice, but it really doesn't run right. You know what I'm saying? You find problems here, and there, and everywhere. Yep. And no matter how many times you bring it back to the shop to tell them, hey, this is wrong, they will still try to sell you on the one idea that is the really good car. That's exactly what a politician does. They have this bullshit ass plan. They try to sell you on it, and when they get in the office and it doesn't work out, and this goes for liberals, Republicans, whatever the fuck you want to say. I'm not saying just for one side, but when it doesn't work, they will still continue to try to sell you on that same idea, or they'll be like, well, I got a nice Audi over here.
Yeah, they'll dodge what's wrong with it.
Yeah, exactly. Or they'll try to put you into something else, or they'll try to just rebrand it.
Right. But I don't appreciate the fake smiles and everything on TV.
You gotta be honest.
They act like all family men.
Yeah, exactly.
Women.
Yeah. But I know you're over here. Your son's smoking crack, but hey. But you, Justin, please let the people of the 3 Men Light Up Nation know how you feel about this Russian-Ukraine situation.
In terms of us, how we're handling it?
In terms of America. Give me terms of America in terms how you feel.
Well, I don't know exact numbers, so I just want to start that off. But I think we're handling it the right way. Up until maybe a week ago when I heard we were sending like another $80 million over there.
Yeah.
Like, where is all this money coming? Because, like, let me explain. Like, I support, the Ukrainians. They're decent people. They don't deserve that. And so lending a helping hand without sending our own people to die, I support that. But when you pull large amounts out of thin air like that, when us Rhode Islanders can't even repair, potholes and stuff,
Yeah.
I start to question it a little bit.
Yeah.
I live on my own. I am now a full-blown taxpayer. So now I have to, question stuff.
Let me ask you a quick question, right? Do you think that we are in a full-blown war with Russia?
No.
So let me ask you this question, a little follow-up question. So you think you would say it was wrong, right? If somebody was giving money to a terrorist organization to fund terrorism or to fight their fight, regardless of what it is, terrorism, but what they view as their fight. I mean, if you're giving them money. The thing I don't get, how is Joe Biden going to say either we're all in or we're all out? How are we going to give these guys tons of money, tons of weapon, pretty much fuel the war? It doesn't matter which side. We might be fueling the good guys in our sense, yeah, in America's sense, because they're not invading anybody. But realistically, we're giving them money to fight a war that we realistically don't get any benefit from, we gain nothing from, and we're in the exact same position we were when Russia didn't invade them.
Yeah,
I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
I don't have an argument against that.
Well,
you're
right.
Right.
That's my biggest problem.
There is no benefit. It's just the U.S., I think, tries too much to be the police officers of the world.
Yeah, perfect.
And it's one thing to help people, but we got to worry about our own problems.
That's
too.
exactly. See, and another thing I want to get over is how are we going to sit here and Joe Biden will go up there and he will talk all types of shit about Russia, the oligarchs, he won't even be able to say the word oligarch. He will literally fuck that up about 4 different times. I don't know if the people have seen the last time he just stood up in front of the American people and gaffed it. And here's my opinion, right? And people might say, "Oh, David, you're a heartless person." I don't have a problem with what Putin's doing. I have no problem. Because you know why I don't have a problem? Because I'm a smart person. Because any smart person, anybody who's smart enough to lead a country, I'm not saying I'm the world's smartest person, but I know, I've watched enough, I guess, history and stuff to know that when you see a weak person in power, that's when you make the move. The thing I liked about Trump is, with Trump, you always had to question what he was going to do. Trump you might be like, oh, well, he was a little crazy. Well, yeah, you want a guy you want to be able to question this guy, right? Because when Trump went to North Korea, the first president that ever stepped foot on North Korean soil, sat down with Kim Jong-un's fat ass, right? Told him, bro, either you're going to denuclearize and you're going to play ball and be a part of the world and actually be able to have your people thrive, or it's no go. And what did he say? It was no go. And he was like, all right, I'm out of here. And he went back home. He talked a little shit about him. You know what I'm saying? Called him Little Rocket Man. But do you think North Korea was going to do anything? Because you knew for a fact Trump would have rained hell on that little shithole of a country. He would evacuate everybody out of South Korea and rained hell.
I understand what Putin's doing. I don't think he's doing the right thing. I don't think
he's
going about it.
So you think he's not doing the right thing in the moral sense of things?
Yeah,
but we're not talking about more. See, this is what people need to understand. You can't expect this man who lives all the way across the world to have the same morals you have in America. Well, this man lives in Russia.
It's not American morals. It's human being morals.
No. Okay, all right. We'll go back to we'll go.
For example, if
so you don't think
he wants control of these ports? That's the main thing he wanted, because that was part of the Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. You can strike a money deal or something. You don't have to necessarily kill a bunch of people.
Why would I give you? Or no, I don't have to kill anybody. You can fold like a lawn chair, B.
Well, no. Well, I understand the Ukrainians.
Yeah, so exactly. I have no. I think I give them utmost respect to every Ukrainian who's back there fighting for this land, because you know what?
They're doing better than what everyone thought.
Exactly, and that's exactly how America was built. We fought. We could not run to other places. We fought. We fought for our land. That's exactly what they need to do if they want independence. My thing is, Putin sees the weakness in the U.S. at this point, and he is doing the most strategic thing. I don't know if I said that right. It sounded like I did. But he's doing exactly what every smart leader would do. You see weakness in America is a superpower. You see weakness in a superpower, you attack. That's exactly what any smart person would do.
Now, I was not a Trump supporter by any means.
Well, yeah.
But I will give him this. He had the threat. You know, people were afraid of him. Like, you know, like Biden.
He's not over here fucking shitting his pants at the Vatican.
If Biden says, "Oh, hey, we're gonna nuke you if you don't keep, you know, if you keep doing this," he's gonna.
But you know, he doesn't like if he just
Trump. Everyone's thinking, well, Trump, he might actually be crazy enough to end the world, so we're not gonna do it.
But
if
think
Trump
about
was
it.
still in office, look, I don't
gas
vote.
prices be low.
Let me say, I don't vote. Okay, I feel like it's already decided before it even happens. But
80 billion votes, ladies and gentlemen.
If Trump did win the re-election, this would not be going on right now.
Oh yeah, and you know what? This the whole Ukrainian situation isn't even the worst part. I knew shit was going. I knew shit was going south when the Afghanistan situation happened. I knew everything was just down the toilet after that. The lack of awareness, the lack of follow through, the lack of execution, the lack of accountability. It was everything was gone. Like I just saw the fact, and you know, this is why I hate everybody in Congress, because I watch some of these Congress meetings and all they do is sit there, and this is in the right and this is on the left. All you do is sit there and they make these, you know, these heated arguments and they just talk shit about everybody. But what actually fucking happens? Like Ted Cruz, all Ted Cruz does is bitch and complain about Facebook. Yet you've done nothing, nothing, Ted Cruz, nothing. Right? And then and you go back to the border. Look at our border. Our border is just people just plowing right through. People are dying in the lake every other week.
Yeah.
And this Mayorkas guy, he's like a low budget Jeff Bezos. Low budget Jeff Bezos, what this guy looks like. My biggest thing is they act like no one knows what's going on. These people, like Joe Biden, the black lady who's the VP and really only got voted because she was a black lady. I mean,
Harris.
Yeah, Harris. Think about it, Justin. Right? Let me ask you this question: if somebody called you a blatant racist on national television, right?
Yeah.
Would you pick them to be like your running mate next?
No.
Yeah. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. No, he did that to look good. Like,
Exactly.
I accept all races and religions and
dude, I could literally like the same thing they did with Joe Rogan with putting up that huge fucking montage of him saying the N-word all over again. I could make up hour montages of Joe Biden sniffing kids weird, touching people uncomfortably, saying the N-word. Like,
yeah. You can't. They can't look at your qualifications based on your color. You got to actually know what you're doing and what you're talking about.
If the first thing out of your mouth,
real world.
Yeah, if the first thing out of your mouth is I'm a black anything or white anything or a cis, like, I want to punch you in the throat. Like, I have no idea how shallow you are as a person to be like, oh, well, because I'm black, that makes me, you know, that instantly assumes that I've been through more shit than you in life.
I'm not racist if I say, hey, if the white person's more qualified, pick them.
No, exactly. And that's my biggest thing. It's like when it comes to like private companies and they're like, oh, well, you know, you need to have diversity. It's like, well, no, you can have diversity in the most qualified people. Now, if you have two qualified people and you go with the white guy, I don't even have a problem with that. It's your business. You do what you want to do. Now, if it's a public thing, right, it's for the government, then I guess you can find, you can honestly, you know, you can cut corners in that way. But if I own my own business, right?
Right.
If I want an all black owned business and I want all black people at this business, that should not be a problem. And people don't have a problem with that. It's all the time if it's a white guy and he doesn't hire a black dude, it's a huge problem.
Think about Think about how every commercial now needs a
token black person somewhere,
or an interracial couple, you know,
or a gay person, or an LGBT. You gotta have or transgender somewhere in there. Like the commercial,
like it's always a black wife and a white husband, and
their kids like white as fuck, and it's like, bro, you been cheating on them. I don't get how like
I'm all for equality and everything, but like it's like it makes me roll my eyes sometimes. It
totally does.
Certain things are taken.
Well, yeah, like you gotta. My thing is, it's like if you're gonna take it this far, right? At least keep it a buck, because I'll take it back to the Will Smith situation, right? Now, realistically, that was black on black crime. Realistically, Will Smith assaulted Chris Rock on national television.
Yeah.
Now, you'd have to assume, right, especially in today's day and age, if this was a white guy and a black guy, that would have ended the fucking world right there. That would have ended the fucking...
Biden would have actually sent nukes.
Yeah. That would have been all over CNN. Brian Stelter would have been all over it.
You're talking about a white guy slapping Chris Rock.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you telling me Chris Rock wouldn't have punched him in the face? You telling me Chris Rock wouldn't have at least press charges? You're telling me that white dude wouldn't have at least be arrested? But Will Smith, the amazing guy he is, you know, because he's fucking brainwashed by his alopecia plagued wife. You know, it's not my. She had hair, bro. You had hair at one point. You got alopecia, right? Get over it. You're bald. I know a lot. Look at Joy Reid. She shows up every day on national television with a fucked up weave, and we as America say nothing.
Look at Jeff Ross.
Yeah, look at Jeff Ross.
In general.
Yeah,
and U.S. people pick on him all the time.
LeBron James, bro. Man had no hairline, all of a sudden has full head of hair.
What about Tom Brady?
Exactly. Tom Brady, once again, the only man to age backwards. He looks better the older he gets.
Yeah.
But back on topic
with the Will Smith thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. With the Will Smith thing, you know, I had a real big problem with that because people were like, "Oh, well, it's staged," and I'm like, "No, there's no way it's staged." I think Chris Rock is more mature.
He handled that
Will Smith.
Very professional.
I think he is way more mature. But I don't really think it's a lot about Will Smith. I think it's mostly about, you know, Jada, because it's like, dude, like, you're a crazy bitch. You literally you have you don't even have a TV show. You have a Facebook show. All right, you're not at
Will
Chief.
Smith is a genuine, like, this is a guy who won't even swear in his raps because he made a promise to his grandma when he was a boy that he would never do it. Like this, like.
He also make a promise to make shitty movies.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen any of his movies, but I believe you.
Don't watch Shark Tales. It's awful.
But like, I don't know. I mean, I know Chris Rock is like supposedly friends with it. I didn't even know the Oscars was on that night until that happened.
No one knows the Oscars were on. The Oscars had the biggest hype. That's why people say it was like staged, because like no one watches the Oscars. No one gives a shit about that.
I saw a couple memes floating around of that picture that we all know too well, and I'm like, what is that? Like, who is that? Is that a slap? Is someone hitting someone else? And like, I had to look it up for myself, and sure enough, it was the first thing.
Yeah, exactly, all over
internet.
Everything. I really hate this. This. No one's keeping it a buck. Like, just keep it a buck all the way around. And to go back to keep it a buck all the way around, right? I go back to Joe Biden, right? My guy, if you're gonna sit here and tell everybody that inflation's a regular thing and inflation's gonna happen, don't sit here and try to blame it on Putin. Don't call it regular inflation, and then because you have this convenient conflict in Russia, that you're just gonna sit here and say, oh, it's the Putin price hike. Okay, so first of all, if Putin is raising the prices in Russia for oil, why are we buying him? Why we are fueling two different?
He's part of inflation.
No. Listen. We are fueling two different. We are fueling the same war on two different sides. We are giving money to Ukraine for bullshit, right? I don't give a shit what the fuck it's for. Guns, weapons, toilet paper, bullshit. I don't care. I love the Ukrainian people, but it's bullshit, right? And then you're gonna go over there, buy billions of dollars worth of oil, and seize all the yachts, though. As long as they can't sail the 7 seas, they're fine. They're stuck in shitty ass Russia, right? But you're gonna buy billions of dollars worth of oil from these guys and then act like, well, we're not doing anything. We have nothing to do with anything. We're America. We're actually policing everybody, right? America's the only country that will tell its working class people to buy an $85,000 electric fucking RC car, right? And they can barely fucking pay for a full tank of gas.
Think about it. This country, trillions of dollars in debt, actually tells its citizens, gives us a credit score and tells us how good we are at money.
Yeah,
with money.
Like, they will literally tell they will tell you that taking out more money and making us more in debt will help us get out of debt. I don't understand that.
Goes back to my point with the $80 million. Where did that come from?
Where?
Like I think there's like $7 trillion total on Earth, and you're $2 or $3 trillion in debt. Are you kidding me? Like that's non-existent money. Like you will never come out of that hole.
No. We're in debt for years
Forever.
to come. We are managing this like the.
And that's the last on their priority list.
Oh yeah, no, it's
100%.
They will never think about a situation critically. They will always ask, what can we do financially? Okay, they will just throw money at situations, just money and money and money and money and money, and then they're like, oh well, it's not our fault. It didn't work. We didn't have enough money. Like, okay, oh, you had all the money in the world, and then one time, and the Republicans stopped the last bill that Nancy Pelosi's old ass was trying to push through, and they were like, well, they can do it. They could have made that bill happen between themselves, but they can't even get their own group together. The Democratic Party has the people that are moderately left, and then they have like the AOCs of the world, the Omars, like these progressive leftists that are so out of the box. I think, and this is my honest opinion, I think the left has a lot of good ideas, right? I think the ideas is very good. I mean, like, who wouldn't want to live in a world where there's no world hunger? Everybody, is all set. Everybody's all taken care of. No one's poor. Right? I love that idea. But in the real world of things, that's not how the fucking world works.
Right. They mean good, but it's unrealistic.
It's exactly. And that's the thing though. They have no idea it is so unrealistic. They literally try to shove that shit through. They try to make it work, and when it doesn't work, they are genuinely surprised.
And from their point of view, it's the Republicans' fault. And from the Republicans' view, it's the Democrats are stopping us from.
But see, here's you can talk shit about the Republicans all you want, right? But in the last 4 years, we had the most financial prosperity in years. You have to agree. There's no denying that. You can disagree with that all you want, but when you look at the numbers, right? When you even go to the grocery store and to the gas pump, you can feel it, right? And the fact that Joe Biden gets in here, says he's going to be the unifier of the world, he winds up actually making people hate him. His poll numbers are in the fucking dumpster. He's a dumpster fucking fire, right? And then you name this Harris chick your VP, right? And she doesn't do shit, right? All she does is say some she says some idiotic things, right? Completely incoherent, and she literally acts like she's the world's smartest person, right? She will sit there when Joe Biden's up there, and she will sit there, puff her chest up in her fucking pantsuit, her and Nancy Pelosi. And you know what? And this is why I say I have no problem with Russia doing what they're doing. If I was Putin, right? I'm calling your bluff. I don't care. I'm calling your bluff. See, this is that.
I think Putin's another guy who's all bark, no bite.
How?
The way he threatens, with the nukes, the nukes though,
the nukes, different story.
This is what I love. He'll say, any country that tries to help Ukraine will be met with consequences they've never seen before. The Chinese dictator, I don't know what you call him,
Xi Jinping.
His name?
That's his name, yeah. Xi Jinping.
No idea.
Yeah, the dictator.
I didn't know what title he was, but he's saying the same thing. Anyone who helps Taiwan. You're not actually going to do anything because you know that will destroy yourself too.
Yeah. It's inflicted suicide. But you know what? At the end of the day, what does he have to lose? See, this is why I'm saying we are in an actual war with Russia because you're putting sanctions on it that's not hurting Vladimir Putin himself. It's hurting the Russian people. Right. And then you're also seizing all their yachts, their foreign assets, all this.
So many big global companies are
all these global companies are not supporting them. Visa left, all this shit's left. The ruble is in the toilet, right? So what does he have to lose? Now, if I'm in a game, if I'm Putin, right, and I'm in pretty much you're in a Texas Hold'em game with the U.S., with Canada, with these big world powers that have actual muscle, right? Now, if I'm at a point where I know I don't have a good hand, I know I ain't got shit to do, why not go all in? Why not go all in? Because you know what? If you see me go all in, I probably have a better opportunity to see you bluff because you think that I probably have something really good. You think I probably got something. And let's not sit here and act like Russia doesn't have probably the largest nuclear bomb ever. I mean, I think their nuclear bomb, I watched a video on it. I mean, the shit that it would bring would be devastation. But once again, it's like
any of them.
Any of them. But if you have nothing to lose, if I can't build my, Putin's gonna have to ask himself this question: if he cannot build his society after this war, right? If this little conflict, whatever you want to call it, war, conflict, or whatever, if he cannot build and prosper after this, what is the point? Because he's lost so much. He has lost so much. I mean, I guess Visa could go back in and maybe these other places could go back in and do business. But I think, especially with today's optics of how everybody has to be all woke and shit, and if you're not with the crowd of people, you're apparently a racist or whatever, and you must hate you must want Russia to take over the world or whatever. You know what I'm saying? What does he have to lose?
I agree. Hey, he has nothing to lose.
When you put a dog in a corner and a dog has no other option, the dog's gonna fuck you up. That's an option.
He has nothing to lose, yes, but as a leader of a country, he's got to think about all that.
He's never thought about that. Why do you think he's been in power for X amount of time? Why do you think he's probably the richest man in the world?
Now, the media doesn't cover this, but a lot of Russians are actually pro-war. They're for it.
Yeah.
They won't tell you that on the news, but they are.
I think
you have the people who are for war, and then you have the people, the 800 line. Waiting in line for McDonald's for a 4 for $4 because they're about to close down.
Yeah, in front of ATMs trying to take all their money out because Visa
and MasterCard. Yeah, exactly.
When are we going to have cash again?
So Putin's already in the hole. He has nothing to lose.
I think if you have your people behind you, that makes you feel really good too.
Even if it's a percentage.
Yeah, but my biggest thing is I think America has a big thing with nationalism, right? You look at the Russian people; they're very proud of their land. They're very proud of Russia. You look at the Chinese people; they're very bad. Like the Chinese people, I mean, I love Chinese culture because they're very, very in tune. They're very in touch with their roots. They're very spiritual.
And they're smart.
They're very smart, and they love their culture. They're a very culture-centric society, and I think that's really well. And I think that's why you have a lot of you go back to the kamikazes. I mean, when you have people literally dive bombing, killing themselves for the greater good.
Japanese,
but the Chinese Japanese culture in general, because they have differences, but it's relatively the same thing. I don't know if that's going to sound bad, but I don't know. Well, I mean, both those cultures look cool to me. I mean, from what I can get from them, but even them Japanese bombers. I mean, they're pretty sure there's people in Chinese who did suicide missions, but to do a suicide mission for the greater good of your country and the prosperity of your country, I think that's good to have. I think everybody who lives in a country and you're a citizen of that country should have. And I think everybody in America wants to talk shit about America and say it's the world's worst place, it's racist, they're killing black people all the time, like this, that, and the fourth. But you can't do, like, first of all, you go to any of these other countries people want to bring up, you can't do half the shit you can do over there. You can do it in America. You can't even go to Canada and talk shit the way you talk shit about the Trump or the president or Joe Biden. You can't do that and talk shit like that over there because apparently hate speech is an actual thing. They don't have freedom of speech, right? When the whole COVID thing happened, right? Because apparently, Dr. Fauci is the end all be all of fucking COVID, right? Well, no, the COVID is finally over. Like, shut the fuck up, guy. COVID was over when you were not afraid of it. I'll say that. I'm not going to say
COVID was over when the media couldn't cover COVID and the world.
COVID was over when Ukraine happened because think about it. They just needed something else. Right? It was Afghanistan, COVID. Then there was the next. There had to be something in there.
They couldn't cover both at the same time. They need to have one topic constantly going that keeps the population in fear and in line because that's when they listen.
That's my biggest thing.
When someone's afraid, they'll turn to their government for support and comfort. And that's exactly
why are people like that? Why are people? I think people have like a weird, fucked up way of what the government actually is.
Now, I love George Carlin. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Yeah,
the comedian.
Yep.
I don't know how familiar you are with him. Okay.
Yep.
He had bits from 30 years ago
that
still hold true today.
Yep.
And he said war is an ego thing, and America particularly likes war because on average, we enter a war every 20 years, and we just can't help it.
Yeah, I think.
Just can't help ourselves.
Well, it is an ego thing because I think people in America they want to take the best aspects of America, but then also shit on America for like its past.
It's one thing to like have patriotism, but I also hate those people that are like, oh, America can take the whole world on our own. And like,
that's you're dumb. I mean, you're obviously fucking retarded.
You sound very dumb.
Yeah, but I think America. It's one of those places where like I think our history makes us beautiful. I think the fact that we as a society we as a society have transformed so much. From segregation to even the 90s where the gay epidemic happened when it was being gay was not really being shunned upon, right? And then now we're at this weird point where it's like, it's being shoved in your face so much to where I think every person has a problem with being told something to do. You know, I think when you're told to accept something, I think that's when you're probably more often to not accept it. I think that's how I am mostly with shit. Like, because at the end of the day, like, I'm an adult. Like, I don't have to accept anything. I don't have to like anything. I don't have to anything. I do that out of my own free will. But when you tell me I have to use, you know, X pronouns, or I have to do this, or you know, some shit like that,
Right.
That's where I have a fucking problem, because I live in the real world. I'm not going to sit here and change my vocabulary so drastically, right? Completely just disregard basic biology that's been taught for fucking years, just because, you know, in the last 2 years, you know, and I have no problem with you wanting to do that stuff. Like, I have no problem if you want to be in that crowd. I have no problem, but don't run around and expect everybody to accept you for everything. That's my biggest thing, and I think when people finally accept that not everybody's gonna like you, not everybody's gonna like your lifestyle, not everybody's gonna like you for who you are, then people will get over themselves.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. Everyone needs to mind their own business. Like, yeah, you deserve to be happy, but don't demand all the special treatment.
Yeah.
Either.
Well, don't sit here and say
like, you're still a human being. You're no better than us. You know, you're no worse than us because you made that decision, but you're also no better than us. You're still a human being.
Yeah, we're on the same playing field, buddy. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, don't sit here and act like you're greater good because, oh, well, the greater good for me would be, you know, if you use X, Y, and Z pronouns or in any situation. That might not be
It's
the greater
a respect
good
thing.
Yeah, you know what?
But it's not scientifically factual.
But even if it's a respect thing, you can't sit here and act and walk around like everybody's going to give you this undying level of respect. I mean, say if you're having Justin, would you be disrespectful, right? If you were having a conversation with somebody, right, and they look like a man, and you were like, "Hey, bro," but then the guy was like, "Well, I identify as a woman," and got all up in your face and this and that. Would you view as you being disrespectful, or would you just putting two and two together?
Well, no. Well, that's something like I'd apologize for.
Why would you apologize?
And kind of carry on.
Why would you apologize?
Because, again, I'm
not saying you're wrong to apologize. I just want to know, why would you apologize?
Because part of me would be like, oh, okay, and like I'm saying to myself, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, this is awkward. But, and like, obviously, that's not what they wanted to be called, but I didn't know. So it's not me being a rude person. It's me not knowing.
Yeah,
and now that I know, like, yeah, that would also come across as annoying if demanding an apology. So I'd want to get away from that person anyways. That's an annoying situation.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, you know, I would apologize, but it's not like, oh, let me ask about your history and, like, when did you have this done? Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm not going to give you my full-blown attention. But
I mean, like, I have no problem. Like, my biggest thing is, don't let that be the end-all, be-all of you. That might be a part of your life. That might be a big part of your life. But, I mean, why is your sexuality that big of a part of your life?
Right.
Why? Like, as a heterosexual man, I don't really think, like, that doesn't really affect my life that much. I mean, I still have to go to work. I still have to pay bills. I still have to take a shit in the morning. It doesn't matter. You know, like, it's not a big thing. I think people want them to care, but people like, like, I'm gay and accept me and be all about me and be happy for me and cheer for me and be an ally. And it's like, well, no, I don't have to do that.
Well, that's taken to another level, but I think another part of it is, like, you know, announcing or making that decision takes a lot of courage. And, you know, society should accept that, but a lot of people don't. So that's why it's still nerve-wracking to do that.
But, like, are you saying everybody needs to accept that? You have to accept that.
You don't have to.
Exactly. I think so why does it matter if anybody accepts that? Say what you need to say and move on.
Oh, no. I'm saying, like say I wanted to go through that transformation. Like, I'd be, like, proud. Like, if I'm ready to take that next step forward, and tell everyone, like, I'd be proud of it.
Yeah. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying you should not be proud of it. But okay, say if somebody else, say you did that online, right? Somebody online was like, say you did it on Twitter, right? You went on Twitter and someone was like, oh well, I don't approve of that. Super religious person, right? I don't approve of that. This and that. I think you're gonna burn in hell, right? Now, do you view that as like hate speech? Do you view that as like this person's harassing them? This person needs to be completely shunned from Twitter or whatever. This person needs to have their account blocked for a bit.
I think they need to take a step back. Yeah, I'm someone that I think religion needs to be completely eliminated from all that stuff. I think we need. This is 2022, okay? Like we've stopped having Bibles in school.
Yeah, but how? See, this is what I'm saying. America was built partly on religion. How can you're gonna remove the threads of kind of what the Constitution kind of volumes for, I guess kind of like.
See, I'm someone
based off of.
I don't even have a ton of respect for all that stuff.
You don't have respect for the Constitution. You don't have respect for the right of bear arms, the right of freedom of speech, like very
not really,
basic.
Not
thing.
really. I'll explain why.
So what the fuck are you doing here? Go move to fucking Canada
not
then.
Not really, because look, I'll explain. Well, because people have progressively gotten smarter. Now, these people at the time were looked at as like top of the mountain. These guys are the founding fathers. But looking at it from now, like. These are a bunch of slave owners who said that all.
Whoa! You're telling me everybody who made the Constitution was a slave owner?
No.
All right, so you can't say these slave owners.
These. It's not that it was normal at the time, and society didn't deem it wrong. At least most. But it's one thing for you to spread this big, powerful message, but then not give. All men are created equal, but yet. Not give everybody equal rights.
Well, everybody has equal.
So it's one thing. You can believe in what you want, but if you go around writing it everywhere and spreading that message, then you just look like a hypocrite. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I think you can take
now you might not have that's like a weird argument that you probably never heard of, but I'm just I'm trying to.
So you don't respect the Constitution, the God-given rights you were given at birth. To say what you damn well please to protect your property the way you would like to protect it.
It comes across as hypocritical.
How?
Because I just told you.
So it's personally to you. To you. It can be hypocrite. Everybody's a hypocrite. Everybody on this fucking earth is a fucking hypocrite. All right, that we've established that, right? But it's more of the fact of your rights as a person, right? So if you don't respect your right to say what the hell you damn well please, right? And it goes back to that situation, right? When you were talking to this person who identifies as a woman, right? Now,
well, there are no such things as rights.
There's rights. What do you mean? What do you fucking mean?
There's no such thing as rights.
Oh my god! You waited this long to say some stupid shit.
There's no such thing as a right.
As a right,
this country.
How? How so? How fucking so?
Because
what is a right? Tell me a right.
There's no such thing as rights.
Tell me a right. Tell me what right is no such thing.
If your government can take it away, it's not.
They can't.
Right.
They cannot
yes,
take. They can. What? Why?
Look at my buddy George over here. Right, he used this analogy. Look at Japanese Americans in 1942.
Okay.
Just because their parents were born in the wrong country, when we were at war with Japan.
Oh, because we were at war with them.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Who would have thought? Who would have thought the same people that will literally do suicide missions for their country?
No, not those people. I'm talking about Japanese American citizens and
okay.
Good standing. Did nothing wrong. Were thrown into internment camps because of what their native country was doing.
Do you not know how the heightened alert that we were at the time?
It doesn't matter. They had a right.
Matter.
They took just when they needed their rights the most. The government took them away and said, "Right this way into the cages."
I'm not.
So there's no such thing as rights. If the government could take anything away from you at any time, now we have yet to see it. It's like
but they can't. But they cannot take. You go.
It annoys me when people are like, "I have a right. You have a right. You don't have a right. I don't have a right. They don't have a right." Like nobody has rights at all.
That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
No, it's a good point. Think about it.
That is bullshit.
It's deep.
I respect the point, right? And at the end of the day, if I wish I'm going to go back and I'm going to read more about the Japanese internment camps because I'm not well versed on that situation. So I'm going to take your word for it at the time. But Once again, I think you have rights, right? You have the right to own a gun. You have the right to pursue happiness in America as an American citizen. You have that right. Now, people have people. I guess today's liberal Americans will say not having the access to Wi-Fi is an infringement on your rights. It's not a right. Or the access to a driver's license. It's not a right. You don't have a right to drive a car. That's a privilege. That's not a right. But your right to say whatever the fuck you want to say that is not inciting violence on somebody, you have that right. You have that right. You cannot say you don't have the right to yell fire in a crowded theater with no fire. But if there's a fire in a crowded theater, you can say that. That's a big difference.
I like to call it the Bill of Privileges, not the Bill of Rights.
It's the bill. No matter what people will try to do,
because think about like people in prison, like
they have no rights. You've broken the law. You've broken the law.
Exactly. But if it's a right, they shouldn't be taken away.
You broke the but you're
like basic human rights should not be taken away. No matter what.
Basic human rights not being taken away.
The fact that it can be taken away. I mean,
to live in a society, you need to follow rules. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I'm not saying they don't deserve to have it taken away. Even if you deserve to have it taken away, the fact that they can means it's not a right.
First of all, to get your rights taken away, you have to be like a felon. Like a felon, like somebody who's clearly a.
So it's someone who had privileges that had them taken away.
Somebody who could not handle their privileges. It's just like parents. See, this is why we have a justice system. Sometimes people didn't have parents, and sometimes people still need to be parented in their late 30s, right? And if you don't understand by going to jail multiple times to be a felon that you can't keep fucking up, your rights will be taken away. Why would you want somebody who say is a scummy person voting, right? Why would you want them?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not disagreeing with you there.
Exactly.
I'm just saying the fact that it can be taken away means it's not a right.
So this is why I go back to when people talk about gun control. If you're a lawfully abiding citizen, right, who owns a gun, takes care of it, puts it away when he needs to, follows all his proper protocol to take care of that gun, right? That you have the right to carry that gun, right? Now,
now.
Well, yeah. So what does that have to do? What does people shootout in Chicago have to do with the fact that you have a gun?
Well, nobody can stop you from, whether it's legal or not. Nobody can stop you from.
Okay, so once again though, but even so, if you try to infringe on the right to own a gun, the only people you're infringing on that right is to law-abiding citizens.
Right.
You're all so at the end of the day, you have
the same stance on gun control.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about rights in general.
I think there should be more guns.
Exactly. I think if everybody had a dirty Harry
at
birth,
every teacher had a handgun or something, there would be no school shootings.
Oh, I don't want to carry a gun, And my thing is,
think about it. Like there would be maybe not every teacher. That's out of line. But if you gave if there was in every hallway of every school there was
one for every five, one gun for every 5 teachers.
Yeah. That 5 teachers had the key to.
Yeah.
It's
not even though on their person.
Not like a gun behind glass that any kid could smash and take.
No. Not even a gun behind a key. A gun on their hip, on your hip.
Think about how many lives would be saved.
Yeah.
Think about the Old West. Everybody in the saloon had a gun.
Well, because that was a thing of respect, though. That was a thing of respect because it made you think twice, right? If I try to run up in here and start some shit, someone else's has an equalizer, and that's what people have a problem with. Is people act like there's no great equalizer to another gun. There is another gun. there's a very good equalizer to it.
Yes, there probably would be a lot more shootings and minor arguments that escalated, and it didn't have to result.
But think about it. Would it though? Would people be getting into needless arguments and road rage, knowing that? Well, this person could be off their ball just as much as I am and shoot me first. Wouldn't that make you think twice? Don't you walk? I know for a fact. If you walked into a hood, right? You pasty white bitch. If you walked into a fucking hood, right? You would think twice before you did anything. Before you even bought a soda.
I had a gun too.
Yeah. Even if you didn't have a gun, if you knew you were in a hood, right? I'd say the streets of Detroit, right? And you're just walking around skippy, right? Just fucking frolicking in the woods, and you knew for a fact that nobody on that street had a gun, right? You would still think twice before you crossed that fucking street. You'd be wearing the whitest fucking clothes because you don't want to wear any other colors because you don't know who you're repping out there. You would think twice, and I know everybody would.
No, I agree.
Every smart person would, and if you wouldn't think that way, they would weed you out so fucking quick.
When I said the argument thing and more people being shot from that, I was more so thinking, drunk people in a bar. That's what I was kind of.
Well, think about it.
But like level, balanced thinking people, you're right. You're onto something. I agree with that.
I think
there should be more guns.
I think the idea of people act like it's so easy to go get a gun. Go get a gun then. I want every politician, right? Especially that Beto O'Rourke poon bag who's down there in Texas thinks he's gonna fucking win in Texas when you're in the biggest gun-toting fucking state ever, right? I think if all these people actually went through the process of getting a gun, right? And now if they went up to Congress and was like, I literally bought this gun 5 minutes ago, then I'd be like, okay, we have a problem. Like, we have a big problem. Like, that's not cool. But it's not that easy. That's why they will never, ever take that argument to the fucking House. They will never take that argument there because it's not easy to go fucking obtain a gun. It's not a very simple thing. You need documentation. And this is what I love, right? People want to talk about, oh, we need more documentation for this, and that, but apparently you don't need a fucking ID to vote. Yeah, like what does that sense that makes? Oh, well, we don't know if these people in these rural communities could use the internet or have a car or drive a bike. Like, oh no, you act like black people and every other Mexican, Russian, every other minority in America, right? Who is apparently a rich white person because every person who's white in America is just balling in money. That's how Joe Biden makes it seem. If you're white in America, you ain't got nothing to say. But if you're a black person, a Mexican, Puerto Rican, Chinese, or whatever, the America is literally fighting against you to vote. That's a lie. Like, literally, if you have identification, it's free to get an ID. Now, this is what I'm saying. You don't get a license. That's not a right there, buddy. That's not a right. But you do have a right to identification, and it's very easy to obtain that. And to sit here and say that, okay, just to having a check through, like, you need an identification card to take a plane. To go on a plane. You need identification to go buy liquor. You need identification to go buy cigarettes. I don't see anybody saying this is hindering the black community because they can't buy their fucking Newport 100s. This isn't bringing back the Hispanic community because they can't buy their Modelos. It's not that way. So once again, this is all about keeping it a buck. It's got to be like a two-way street. Exactly. Keep it a buck all the way around. If it's going to be bad for them for X, it's got to be bad for them for Y. But if they need X and Y, if they can go sit there and buy cigarettes out the ass, then they should be able to obtain a fucking license. Or not a license, but an identification card. I'm not going to sit here and ask the world for you and tell you to go take some driver's ed classes. But I'm going to tell you, yeah, you got to sit up there and go take a fucking picture in the DMV like every other son of a bitch in America.
I agree 100% that you need an ID to vote.
I have a big problem with that. Like, why? And we'll go back to the biggest thing that's happening around. If people haven't been on the social medias, Elon Musk, the first African American. He's a legit African American, bro. The man is from Africa, and he's an African American. Now, apparently, because he's not black, because he doesn't have enough pigment in his skin, he's just a rich white dude, a cis white male. But no, he is a legit. If there's an African American, that is him. I'm sorry he doesn't have enough pigmentation. That is reverse racism. But you know what? Elon Musk, he bought Twitter, right? And everybody on CNN, mostly on the left, are very up in arms because apparently freedom of speech is something they're very afraid of.
I didn't see too much about like reactions, and I feel like I'm wondering, why is it even a story?
Well, people will see Twitter, especially in today, and I guess in the last year, Twitter has been a really big deal because it, you can censor a lot of stuff, you can reach a lot of people, and Twitter, when the Hunter Biden laptop, that is a legit confirmed story. YouTube, you can't shut us down for saying that. Hunter Biden's laptop is a confirmed story. There are pictures of him smoking crack. You can't deny that. You cannot deny that. The president's son smokes crack. Justin, look me in my eyes. He smokes crack and diddles children. You can't look away from me.
I don't.
You don't look away from me.
I've never.
Don't you look me in the soles of my pupils. Smoking crack.
Smoking crack.
And you have to believe, right? If this was Donald Trump's son, this would be all over the face of the fucking news. But no, it's Joe Biden. We can't sit here and say we can't. We got to throttle this, right? And I think with Jack Dorsey running Twitter and they have a lot of left leanings people there, and I have no problem with that, But keep it an even playing field.
It's not like Elon Musk is some terrorist.
Elon Musk is a guy who he's not even a real political person. It's the fact that they are. It's not. It has nothing to do with politics. It's the fact that
he's trying to make change in the world.
The same guy that this is the same guy that they will tell you to go spend $85,000 to go buy his car and then talk shit about him for buying Twitter. Like, how does that make sense? Go buy this man's car, but he's also a racist because he bought Twitter, and he says freedom of speech should be a thing.
Yeah,
So this is why I love freedom of speech, right? Freedom of speech gives people the opportunity to look like an ass, right? If someone says something that's completely just out of pocket, hands down racist, they should be able to say that shit. Because the broad spectrum of the community wouldn't be able to be like, well, that's some racist ass shit. We obviously do not jive with that. I think the broad spectrum of the world is very smart in that sense. They know how to think for themselves. And if they agree with this person, let them agree with that. That is their right to agree with them. You can't force somebody to think a certain way, and that's what I think they wanted to do. They want to force people to think the same way, to think right. to say that
they're limiting other opinions. So
exactly.
They're limiting other
points of view, silencing other points of view, silencing different opinions.
Like, this is the way you have to think, and that's
it. And if you don't think this way, you're a racist and you're homophobe, and I don't get the point of the word homophobic. So to have a phobia means you're scared of them, right? That's what I have to have a phobia.
Yeah.
That's to have anything like a arachnophobia, a clownophobia, to be petrified. Now, I've never met anybody who actively hates gay people or any transgender people at all. But I could only imagine, right? If somebody who actively hated that community, why would they be scared of them? I don't really think you're scared. I just think the word homophobe, I think that's not
I
the
think
proper
that name
sense.
Is more of a nag at them.
Yeah, I think it's a nag. I just
like this is what you must be afraid of them.
Yeah, I'm like I just when somebody calls somebody a homophobe, I'm like, oh, are they actually petrified? What that makes me actually ask why are you scared of them? They're just people. They are just people. They're no different than you and me. Why are you afraid of them? But that's just something I just never got. I mean, I guess it's
definitely a slur. To get under their skin.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, you ever watch that SpongeBob where SpongeBob episode where he tries to scare Patrick? Oh, Patrick tries to scare Squidward that pretends to be Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Ho ho ho. Oh no! It's
claustrophobic.
Oh yeah. So that's my 2 cents on that. I mean, like I said, I think Elon Musk. I think he's a smart guy. He obviously he's a big innovator because he shot a fucking car into space. Who does that?
Yeah, that guy is. He deserved to be man of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it again.
Yeah,
that guy is single-handedly changing the world. I mean, he believes he can power all of China with solar panels. That's insane to think about.
You know what's funny, right? The same guy that they tell everybody to go buy his car, even he says that he doesn't even have the what is it? I guess the structure to power everybody's Tesla.
I can't think of the word. It's, the patent.
Yeah.
The patents that he used for Tesla, to make the efficient. He made that public so other people can make other branded electric cars.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows he's untouchable in the competition realm, but he cares about the world.
But it was really the infrastructure to be able to charge all these cars. Because think about it, right? Say if you have 100 people in a neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And at 5 o'clock on the dot, on some weird ass fucking, weird ass shit, everybody's a fucking, the fuck am I trying to? What am I trying to say?
Whoville?
Yeah, like a Whoville type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does the same thing at the same time. I don't know. I was trying to think of something. What do they call those? It's like a community, a group, like
the perfect society.
Yeah, what do they call that? Like a community of houses, and and then they're it's like a board. You know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah. I can't think
fuck, of dude. This is actually gonna piss me off. Oh, son of a bitch.
I'll look it up.
An HOA. HOA.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, homeowners association.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, HOA. So imagine, right, you live in a neighborhood with an HOA.
Utopia.
That's
what I was thinking of.
No, I was thinking like an HOA because, like, you know, they have more control of whatever happens in the neighborhood. I can't believe it took me that long to figure that out. But say if you live in an HOA and everybody has their Teslas plugged in at 5 o'clock on the dot, and tell me that, you know, 2 towns over there's another HOA, 100 people doing the same thing. You have 200 cars at this point. Now, say it's running off of one grid. You have 200 cars, 200 Teslas trying to charge. Say they're fully dead and they're trying to all charge, fast charging too. You're telling me that like America's infrastructure grid could handle that at this time?
I was told.
Well, no, even Elon Musk says it can't. So
I was told Tesla chargers run on gas. I don't know how true that is.
Oh my god! Well, see, my biggest thing is like, if the most pro electric man, the guy who literally builds electric cars and knows that if he's telling other people to still buy their gas cars, that he's losing money, says that for the greater good of America, that people still need to be using gas cars, then that's a problem. I mean, you could take a 1993 Toyota Camry, right? That still runs to this very fucking day. That would be way cleaner for the environment than you buying a brand new fucking Tesla. Because at the end of the day, if everybody just dropped everything, right, and there was just this huge, just like, everybody gets a Tesla, everybody with a license and has a car to their name gets a Tesla. Where are all these other cars going to go? Where are they going to go?
Yeah.
Where's all this material going to go? Where's all this oil going to go? Where's it going to go?
Even if you trade in a car, like,
where does that car go?
What are they going to do with it?
Yeah, exactly. But here's what's going to happen, right? People, this is why I have a real big problem with America. America thinks that people countries outside of America still holds America to this higher standard. I think they know what America is, and they're more of in competition. They're not looking up to America. They're looking like side of America, like ahead of America. Like, what can we do to beat them, to outpace them? And I think when America walks around like, oh, well, everybody needs to buy cars and electric this and green that. Do you think China's doing that? China's had the worst fucking air pollution.
Oh, people are like going to school.
They were wearing masks before that shit was cool. Yeah. You know, you think Saudi Arabia is gonna make all these EPA fucking regulations, you know, public or whatever? Do you think everybody else is gonna follow these same exact standards America does? And that it's not gonna happen. So why? I mean, we can make clean gasoline. We can make clean energy here. And we were doing that at a time under Trump. But as soon as Joe Biden goes in, just to save face, he shuts down the pipeline. He shuts down everything. And what he will do is he will go to Russia, offer them billions of dollars, and ask them to pump more oil from OPEC, right? And then on top of that, we will even go to Iran. The same motherfuckers that we hated forever. We will go to Iran and ask them for fucking oil leases and shit.
Nobody actually cares about the environment. What they care about is either to get voted back in the office.
Well, look at AOC. Perfect
if you're not
example.
A politician, they care about the likes on Instagram. Oh, I cleaned up a beach. It's not actually about caring about the planet. They care about their habitat and how they're
look at AOC. Remember when AOC went to the Met Gala and wore the tax the rich dress? How are you gonna go to the most richest the richest event ever? It's the Met Gala. It's all a bunch of rich douchebags. But you're gonna wear a dress that says tax the rich? Lady, you've made
I've never heard of
thousands of this was a little back then. People have made memes about it. It's a little back. It's way probably like a year ago. But People literally will go to this situation. People will go to that and say, AOC, go back to AOC. She makes a pretty penny in Congress or in her public space. She has a Tesla, right? She's got a pretty expensive dog. She has not paid a dime towards her fucking student loan debt. Yet she will go over there and say, oh my God, we need to forgive all student loan debt. If you have the balls to go put your name on a fucking loan to go get a fucking degree in lesbian archery, I don't give a shit if you can't fucking find a job. That's your problem. Go get you can go to a trade school. You can go get a job in engineering, get a job in something that will actually get you a job. But when you go get a fucking degree in underwater basket weaving, don't be mad when you can't find a job. Like don't take out a fat ass loan and then be mad that you have to pay it back. Because I think when you bail somebody out this much, right, who clearly does not know the value of a dollar to take out a big loan, right? They just think that, oh, I'm gonna go take out this $50,000 loan and I don't have to pay it back. I mean, think about it. When most people talk about their student loans, I mean, they don't really focus on paying it back. It's kind of like a thing that's like, whatever. I was gonna get it eventually, type of deal. Like, you know, like, people don't have a problem.
Society
with that.
wants us the schools have been pushing since in middle school. You gotta
go to college.
You gotta get a good job. Like I feel like they want that. Maybe not the teachers, but the government.
Oh yeah,
because now they're seeing, oh, you have to go to school, then you have to get married, more debt, then you have to buy a house. Like you can do things out of order.
Yeah,
you can be successful without doing that. Like me, I'm 22. Okay, I have my own place. I never plan on getting married. I didn't go to college.
Yeah,
like if I went to college in that debt, I would never been able to get my own place.
So like, and you actually have your own place, like in your name, like no rental, no nothing.
Right, and now I am in debt. Yeah,
but it's debt that's
but it's not for stupid textbooks. Yeah, it's a place to live.
Yeah,
like I went to college for 1 semester, and I used all my textbook money at the candy store every morning. I bought a Reese's and a chocolate milk. Yep.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
A True Moo every day, every morning, and a king size Reese's. Yep.
You're fucking retarded. You are fucking. You know, it's exactly why all these kids don't fucking get shit, because they're over buying True Moos and fucking king size Reese's. And you couldn't get a regular size Reese's, you fat bitch. You had to get the king size.
That was my breakfast.
That was my breakfast. He says, "You fat motherfucker." That is terrible.
Extra thick.
Extra. Oh, I mean, I'm not the biggest Reese's fan.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you can be successful without that, or you can be like an entrepreneur. You can be a 15-year-old kid on YouTube making $1 million a year. He's not. If he goes to college, he's stupid.
Yeah,
I'll say that flat out.
Yeah. No, like you look at a lot. I feel
like I love when like you're watching Pawn Stars, right? I know they're scripted, but it's like, oh, I'm selling my grandma's $1 million ring because to college.
Yeah, like that's dumb. Like that's dumb. Like I don't. First of all, if I was a pawn script, like I don't give a fuck. Fuck your grandma. Like, I don't give a shit.
Like because you're afraid to look bad.
Yeah, see, like I think I once again I think it's just like people want to be in that crowd of people. I think being a blue collared person is like it's kind of frowned upon. I think like getting a job and just making ends meet and then like living comfortably is something that like you have to be living in luxury. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be like an influencer where you're just on social media all the time. Life looks so great, but then 5 months later your wife's shitting in your bed.
I went to school for 1 week of the second semester.
The dogs did it.
I went to
What's that toilet paper out your ass crack? Oh, this is a tampon. This is my hanky. I just blew my nose.
That was Odell.
Wow.
No, I went to school the second semester for 1 week, and then I stopped going. And like, people I was close to at the time, they were like, "Why aren't you in school?" Like, and I was like, "Oh, I just didn't." I was ashamed. I was ashamed to admit, like, I was like dropping out because like I didn't want to look like a failure or a bad person.
I guess for me, well, see, like you, my thing is like if don't go to college because you don't know what to do.
Yep.
But then don't go to college and fuck off.
I went to college because my family said that's good, and when I dropped out, my dad said, I remember my dad went online and he was like, "Oh, I failed as a father," and all this stuff. Like, and like,
but you had bigger aspirations, and you're doing very well. And I think it's like when people leave high school, right? Because I know two people that we went to high school with that left like probably junior year, and they left to go to work with their parents, but their parents had very well established businesses. They made a good amount of money for what they were doing, and they saw themselves being in that business. Right. I have no problem with that. If you're going into a family business, right, and this is where you want to be, and this is what makes you happy, if you don't need to be in fucking school, then if your parents are cool with that, then peace out.
If society looks at you as like a quote unquote bum that like does construction, like chances are they make more money than you.
Exactly.
So, and it's a message I'm trying to spread to my brother who's turning 16. Like, hey, you don't have to go to college. There's plenty of options.
Trade school. I would have went to a trade school way before I would have went to college.
I know of people who got...
I never went to college, though. Let's just say that.
I know of people who got degrees in, like, archaeology and stuff like that. And now, obviously, they can't find work.
Yeah, exactly. Who the fuck? Fucking
and
idiot.
now they're working, like, as a desk clerk somewhere, making, like, $15 an hour. Well, the same price that these brand new kids at McDonald's are making. When I order a burger that says cheese only, they give me a piece of cheese in a box. Like...
Yeah, exactly. You spend all this money on this fancy degree and you can't even use it.
Right. And it's also unfair at the same time that, you know, they're making us change our major when we're 18 years old.
Well, my thing is, it's like, so like I know a kid, right, and he so like in Rhode Island at one point you could go to college for free, like a state college, like UR no, not URA, but
That's what I
CCRI.
did. That's what I did.
Yeah. So if you have an opportunity like that, right, and you decide to drop out and yet you don't have anything to fall back on and you're not really serious about it, that's my problem.
That's was me.
That's when I'm going to sit here and say you're kind of a bum. You are a bum.
I did do that.
I'm just that. See,
I did do that because
because I feel like you're on an awkward spot because you once again you feel ashamed because you dropped out and apparently your life's supposed to be over at this point.
I didn't know what I wanted to do, but the one thing I did know for sure is that
you didn't want to go to college.
I was sick of school.
Yeah,
I did 12. I did 12 grades at that. I passed all 12 grades.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want to do more of it.
Well, see, that's the thing.
And now, like, I have like a decent job that pays well, and I have these side things I'm doing. This is another side thing we're doing. It's not generating money, but we're happy.
Yeah, I think people I think a lot of kids go through the same thing you went through in the sense of they're tired of school, but they've been told that if they don't go to school, like their life is going to be over. And when they like, I think a lot of kids might even pass up on a good job opportunity that be able to make way more money and be way happier to actually fulfill the idea of, well, as long as I do my 4 years and get my degree, everything's going to work out. And it never happens that way. Right. Even people who get their degrees and they have jobs lined up, it never works out.
I remember being told I'll only ever have jobs with, like, you know, health insurance and benefits if you go to school. That's not true either.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I never had, like, I never really, I knew I didn't want to go to college. I knew I was so done with school.
Realizing it. That was my problem.
I barely fucking passed high school. I got the same diploma as all you motherfuckers, right? All you motherfuckers. Right. We got same gown, same diploma.
Same rows.
I just slacked off a lot more than everybody.
Right.
So I knew I wasn't ready for school, right? But I didn't know what to do after. And I worked a lot of dead-end jobs. And then I worked in a kitchen. I worked in a kitchen for a long time. And I realized I did not want to go to work in a kitchen anymore. But then I also kind of came to the conclusion, I'm like, well, I'm kind of going to college right now. You know, I'm learning real world things in the sense. I'm not learning textbook stuff, you know, like how to do a certain job, but I guess I'm a Swiss Army knife when it comes to a lot of different things. I can show up to a job and relatively have some sort of, you know, idea of what I'm doing, you know, a great ballpark, you know, of what I'm doing. I'm definitely not completely out of my comfort zone. You know, I definitely want to, I've actually thought about going to a trade school, you know, like later in life or something. But, you know, like once again, though, I need to see a return on my investment, right? Even in a trade school, you're still looking at about $20,000, right? I need to know that I'm going to be able to pay that back in a timely manner where I'm not going to get fucked over with interest, because that's the biggest thing. Right. I don't want to get fucked over with interest.
I know people in their 50s still paying back student loans.
That's crazy. Ridiculous. But you know, some people will tell you not to even pay your student loans, just to default on it. And I think that's ridiculous, because once again, though, especially with we'll say like you and me, right? We relatively grew up quite quickly in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, so I think for us, it's like we know the consequences of not paying a bill. You know, like the consequences of not paying something. Like debt is something that's real. Like your credit score is something that actually affects your day-to-day function as an adult. You know, I think for us, it's like, okay, we weigh the good and bad more often than in somebody who doesn't. You know, and I'm not saying kids who have a better, you know, situation, I guess, you know, who could stay at home and have their parents, live with their parents and stuff, because I don't shame anybody for doing that. If you're not in a financial position to move out and you can't, and moving out would be more of a burden for you, then stay at home and get your shit right. You know, don't stay at home and pick your ass all fucking day, you know,
yeah.
but stay at home and set shit up. But once again, for us, I think we go into a situation really looking for a return on investment, and stuff that we don't get return on investments on, we are completely happy doing those. Because even with this right here, I mean, there might not ever be a turn on an investment for the microphones, for the headphones, for everything we put into this. But I'm perfectly fine taking that risk. You know, it's more of the risk of, am I ready to take a $20,000 risk, or even going to an actual college, a $50,000 risk. And I think a lot of kids, when they go to college, you really need to realize that you need to have extraordinary self-confidence. You need to have really good. You need to be really happy with who you are as a person.
That's what I had to weigh when getting, my place and stuff.
Yeah.
Same kind of conversation.
Yeah.
I always knew I was a cheapskate and good at saving money, but it just really fell on how much am I able to earn, and like I
how
said,
much do you want it? How much do you want it?
Right.
And I think when you go to college, you have to be in such a. It's like playing a sport. You have to be in such a cocky mentality and knowing that if you fail, you have no one else to blame. No one else to blame. And it's going to be hard, but you can do it. And I think a lot of people don't have that conversation with themselves. They just go to college because, well, everybody else is going to college, and that's the thing to do. It's not that, oh, well, I'm going to college, and I'm pretty much betting $50,000 that I'll be able to get a job to pay this back.
The first thing people told me when I dropped out, like people close to me, they're like, oh, you could just be an artist. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, no.
Like you hear about starving artists all the time. But then I figured it out. Like, I don't just have to do that. I don't just have to be a guy who does art. I could be a guy who does a million things that keeps him happy and also happens to do that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things.
Yeah,
I don't want one main title.
Don't keep yourself in a box.
You need a bunch of different incomes. You can invest. You can do a bunch of stuff that society and school does not teach you.
They don't teach you how to even balance a checkbook.
No, I didn't know how to write a check until I had to pay my first condo fee. I swear to God.
That's terrible.
Like, I didn't know what went in the memo. Apparently, you don't have to put anything in the memo.
See, it's like home ec. They don't even teach like home ec. They don't teach the idea that I think if you go back to like the 90s, I guess, like the early 2000s to some sort of degree, I think it was the why they taught home ec and then they taught like shop class and they kind of made it like mandatory is because they realized that not everybody's going to go to college. Like going to college was supposed to be for the top 10% of people. And that's not to shun anybody else who would not be in that top 10%, but I guarantee at least 75% of people in college can't handle it. And that's at probably most levels. I mean, you might be able to get through it, but can you handle it and prosper from it? Probably not.
Yeah.
Well, it'll probably hinder you more than help you, And I'm not saying the experience might not be well. And I know my buddies go to college, and I go out and I go party with them, and the experience of college is fantastic. But like, would you be able to do all the shit that goes on top of it? Would you be able to wake up at the ass crack of dawn? Like the only way I'm waking up at the ass crack of dawn is because I got bills to pay. Now, if I know I could skip a class and no one's going to be up my ass about it, do you think I'm going to go? Fuck no. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to class when the teachers were on my ass to go to class. Fuck, you think I'm going to go if I could just sleep in my fucking bed all day? I'm going to sleep in my bed all day.
Right.
You have to be really self-motivated, and I don't think a lot of people are.
But instead of getting paid to get up and do something, you now have to pay yourself.
Yeah.
Your money goes somewhere else out of your bank account to get up early.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Well, it's like it goes back to that, like, the people, it's like goes back to society saying you need to go to college, and it's taking all you're pretty much handicapping kids to where they feel they have to go to college because you're taking away like home ec, shop class, things that somebody who like yourself who let's just say you never even went to college, right? Because you practically didn't. I mean, you did, but I mean it wasn't enough.
I tell people I didn't.
Yeah. Right. So let's say you didn't, right? So you're a guy who's fresh out of high school and don't even know how to write a check.
Right.
That's awful.
Right.
That is scary.
Yeah.
That you're supposed to be an adult who's pretty much on their own and you can't even write a check.
And I was babied for most of my life.
Well, yeah.
I had to learn how to grow up very, very quick. I would say even year and a half ago,
Yeah.
I was like that same immature kid from high school.
Yeah.
Like nothing changed.
Yeah.
Now I feel internally like more mature, and I actually feel like I have a grasp somewhat on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to act like I know all the answers.
Well, yeah.
But
you
a lot more self-confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
In my ability, to get things done. And
yeah.
I see that in you too. Mm-hmm. So like it's one of those things.
It's one of the,
we grew up very fast.
Well, yeah, and I once again though, I think I just think it's once again it's a school system that it just kind of handicaps you in a sense of, yeah, if you don't go to college, you won't get a good job, and when you have that mentality from 12 years of saying, because they tell you from a very young age you need to go to college. They always tell you it all matters, it all matters, it all matters. You know, they tell you. I remember people telling me that in elementary school. The kneecap test. If you fail the kneecap, you're gonna fail life. You know, and when you go through like a sense, especially from 12 years of telling somebody if you don't go to college, your life's gonna be shit. You're gonna realize that. And what are you gonna say to the kid who doesn't cut it to go to college, or who drops out of CCRI because it wasn't for him? Now you set this kid up to internally think that his life will forever be shit because he didn't finish college.
That's what I ran into.
Exactly, but knowing for a fact, because you know what, I have a problem with teachers who will literally tell these kids the same thing, like go to college, your life will be shit, right? But you're the same teachers working at the same shitty ass fucking school I'm going to, right? Barely fucking working, having to work a fucking summer job, still dealing with the same fucking debt. And we'll just say the summer job, but on top of that, I could be doing the same thing you're doing, but on top of that, you have mountains and mountains full of debt on top of that.
Right, they'll
they never tell you about that.
They'll highlight the good parts, but what they won't tell you is that the student loans, you won't be able to buy a house.
Yeah,
you won't be able to afford.
They don't tell you have to finish. Like you have to finish, and even at that point, even when you get your little fancy piece of paper, you have to go into the workforce. All right, so like you have to be able to function with other people, and on top of that, do a job. And every job does shit differently, right? Because I feel like when you go to college, it gives you like a broad idea of what you're going to be doing, right? And you could specify, but it's still a broad idea of what you're getting specified in until you actually get to the actual job and you actually have to function. Because you ask people who work with like people like apprentices, right? People out of New England Tech or some shit like that. They or like Johnson and Wales, right? They act like they know fucking everything because they went to a school, but then you get into the actual fucking nitty gritty and things in the actual foxhole in a kitchen, and they realize, like I'm not cut out for this, or like this is completely different than what what college told me it was gonna be.
And even if you did have that debt, like guess what? You still gotta pay it off.
You still gotta pay it. So
even if it's not
so even if you went to school to be a chef, the chef wasn't your thing. You took out $50,000 and you wound up being a very successful car salesman. That's still gonna follow you. Like just because you decide not to do that anymore doesn't mean the debt was like, as long as
you're 18.
Yeah, when you're 8, and that's so it is the biggest fugazi scam I've ever seen. That's why I'm really against college.
Like we're not even fully developed until I think 24, 25.
Yeah,
and you're gonna have to live with a decision until your 50s, maybe in worst cases, by a decision you made when you were 18, when you were still living at your parents'. That's not cool.
I mean, at least you have to look at that decision every day like a child.
Yeah. I actually wouldn't change a thing with the decisions I made. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, same here. I mean, I think college, like I said, I think some people are very well built for college. I think if you're going to go be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, you need to go to college.
I mean, I'm related to someone who went to school for 11 years, doctorate, psychiatrist, like $85 an hour. Like,
yeah.
Hey, if that works, cool. But you're at $1 million.
But you know what? They're in a job though that they can pay that off though. They see a return on their investment.
It doesn't always work out that way.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't always work out that way. But for the very few, but you know what? But the fact that it did work out for that person, it goes to show the drive they had, the amount of how dedicated they were to their craft, and the fact that they knew what the fuck they were doing, because they could have easily tapped out halfway through, at the beginning, at the end. They could have been happy with whatever, getting paid $30 an hour, $40 an hour, but to take it to the highest level you possibly can. That's what college is for. Those overachievers. Not everybody's a fucking overachiever. Not every kid's great. Not every kid's a fucking angel. Your kid's a piece of shit. Some people are very happy living a very modest lifestyle. Right. That's not to have big fancy cars and a big fancy house.
Even when you go to college, you're still part of the middle class. Like I don't understand. Like you're telling people
you're not even middle class. Think about it's a very known fact that most college kids are poor. So you're not even middle class.
That's your like people are okay with that being their ceiling. Like be an entrepreneur. Like invent something.
But you know what? You have no one else to blame though. If I come up with a product, right? And it doesn't do as well, I have no one else to blame. When you go to college, you can blame that on the teachers, the school system, society. You have Like, look at AOC. AOC blames it on everything but the fact that she, as an adult, signed a piece of paper and has to follow through on that. She doesn't accept that responsibility, but she will put the responsibility on the fact that she owns thousands of dollars in student debt on the government, on the school system, on everybody else, on society, but not the fact that she signed the papers. No one put a gun to your head and said, you need to go take this loan out to go to school. No one said you had to go to school.
I couldn't tell you how many times someone has told me to go to art school. Like, why?
That's the biggest joke.
Like,
I've heard from people who went to art school that say don't go to art school.
To show off my piece of paper on the wall? Like, it's not going to change.
If you're good at it, you're good at it. I mean, I guarantee if you took the world's worst artist and brought him to the best art school, he's still going to be the world's worst artist. I mean, he might be able to draw a little better, but I mean...
It's something in your DNA. And that goes for any job. Like, you got to have it. You got to, you just can't take any...
It's like kids who go to school for, like, broadcasting and stuff, and I always tell them, and I was like, Joe, if you like a sport or if you're passionate about something, just like what we're doing right here, right? If you like football, you like basketball, and you want to be in that sports, arena, I guess, in the commentating spectrum of things, what is stopping you from buying a microphone or just hitting record on your phone? Like if you're
working your way up.
If you're exactly working your way up, if you're passionate about something, you'll be able to take the dive. You'll be able to take the loss and feel okay with it. You'll be able to. You might even be reignited to come back twice as hard. But it's the fact of, are you okay with defeat? Are you okay with shit not working out in your favor? And can you internal that, and can you like retool and reload? You
gotta know how to fail before you can win.
Exactly. Can you deal with adversity? And I don't think a lot of kids can deal with adversity, but that's why you have a whole bunch of people yelling for safe spaces.
Social media is an amazing thing now.
Well, social media has turned everybody into big pussies.
In that regard, yeah. But I'm saying, like, you can, like, the world could listen to this right now. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can hear our voices. That's why it's such a useful tool. For more people to know about you.
Yeah. I think people...
but for example, if we went to college for broadcasting or whatever, and
if I can't talk in front of a mic, if I can't talk in front of people, going to school for it is not going to fix it.
I was going to say, we'd still be doing the same thing right now, whether we had a degree or not.
Shit, bro. And it probably wouldn't even... We'd probably still be on a fucking phone because we couldn't afford shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Probably.
Like we say, like, all the shit we've bought for this, for the 3-man lineup and rebuilding it and pretty much retooling and reloading what we're passionate about has been out of our pocket. Yeah. And we've not made a dime. We've maybe gained 5 more subscribers. We're at 40.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, I enjoy doing this. If we lose money from this, I don't have a problem with it as long as I can sit in front of a fucking microphone and run my mouth.
Right. It's all about the grind, the hustle. You have to like that.
You have to be hungry for it. I think people look at all these rich people, like Jake Paul, for example, right? They look at him and they're like, oh, this guy just came out of nowhere. I'm like, no. Like, this guy built himself up. He was on Disney Channel. He did a lot of self-promotion. He did a lot of YouTube stuff. He did a lot of crazy shit with a lot of crazy people. Look at the Nelk Boys. You look at a lot of other people. I mean, like, even Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan wasn't this fantastic podcaster forever. If you actually listen to Joe Rogan when he first started getting into the UFC, he used to pay he had to pay to go to the shows when it first started coming out. He had to pay to go to the shows. He had to fly himself out there. Like, people had to work themselves up to live in a nice, fancy, comfy studio and to make you feel bad because you don't have that same amount of drive. And once again, that has nothing to do with anybody else except you. If you can look in the mirror and be like, I'm happy with everything, then be happy with that. But I don't think a lot of people can. I mean, can everybody in America look themselves in the mirror and be like, I am completely happy with everything I've done in life. I have no regrets. I have nothing. I don't even think the world's happiest person could say that.
Right.
But you got to wake up every morning chasing what you want to chase and being semi-happy with what you accomplished today. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have motivated. Exactly. You have to stay motivated. And once again, I think, I don't think a lot of kids nowadays are motivated. I think they want the easy way out, and I think they look to the government too much.
Yeah. I agree.
You look to the government to bail you out of everything.
I agree.
I honestly think the whole, like, COVID check thing didn't help anybody out because I think the idea of getting a check from the government was really cool.
Whenever I see, like, this old pickup truck on the highway with, like, this cheap decal of, like, a some side business somebody owns. Like it kind of makes me happy a little bit. Like that's someone that's motivated.
Yeah,
they're trying.
Yeah, they're
trying to live the quote unquote American dream.
Well, that's the American dream. It's not quote unquote. I mean, that's the American dream. The American dream was to come here as an immigrant.
Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out, but
build your but no one's stopping you from doing. If one thing doesn't work out, if selling tacos doesn't work out, get some fucking tortillas and start wrapping some burritos. All right, if fencing doesn't work out, try landscaping. Like, America is a place where you can literally do whatever you want. There are people who didn't have. Think about it. The guy who leaked all the shit from the Edward Snowden guy, right? You remember him? Edward Snowden. He was a whistleblower, and he whistleblew a whole bunch of secrets about the NSA tracking people, whatever, some bullshit, okay. Right? This guy was a dropout. He was a military dropout. He had no recollection of working in IT, and all of a sudden he's America's biggest whistleblower. You don't just because you wake up being a sandwich maker or working at fucking McDonald's does not mean you could be the world's biggest whatever tomorrow. With the amount of drive, the amount of passion you have, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be. I mean, look at terrorism. The only reason terrorism is a thing is because these motherfuckers have a drive and a passion for that.
Yeah.
So have that terroristic drive. I guess I can tell everybody. Have a terroristic drive, in society. No, okay. Let me take that back, right? Have a terroristic drive in what you do. Be relentless, be passionate, and don't let anybody tell you different, because I think a lot of people
blow it out of the water.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people are very I think when we first started doing this and we first started recording and I first started telling people to listen to it, I was very I always wanted to know what they thought about it. And then I'll tell a story. My boss, I love this guy. He's a really good boss. And he told me, he was like, David, I think you swear too much, right? I think you're a little too, you're just a little too vulgar sometimes. And I'm like, well, am I? Am I swearing too much? Maybe I'll try to dial it back and doing this and doing that. And then he brought me back in. He goes, David, fuck what I had to say. Like, do you. Like, this is who you are. Like, do what you do. Don't let me or anybody else change the sauce you put into the fucking meatballs, right? And that's why I really was just like, yeah, fuck it. I feel like I need to swear to make my fucking point across. I'm going to swear. I don't give a shit, I don't give a flying fuck. I don't care if it monetize, make money, don't make money. I don't give a flying fuck, So, that's why I think people need not to care about whatever people think about it. If someone does not like the cake you're making, don't worry about it. Now, if 100 people don't like that cake, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? If you like that cake and you think this cake could be something, do it.
There are 8 billion people in this world.
Exactly. So someone's bound to like it.
There's plenty to go around.
Exactly. I think it's going to wrap this one up, though. That was all. Well, that was a good one, though. I think.
How long did we go?
An hour and 20. Hour and 27. I think this is it'd be a good mix up.
Have a terroristic drive.
We're gonna end it on that. All right, it's a 3-man lineup, and we'll catch you guys next week. And please leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
It's always appreciated.
Always appreciated. Once again. Okay.